Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at ADA. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Taking a look at Cardano, we saw a massive surge since November 5th. That was our local bottom. We went up approximately 104%. So we're going to zoom out a little bit just to show you the bigger picture. We printed our bear market bottom back in September 2023 over here. And then we went up all the way to 80 cents. From there, we retraced back down and we printed a higher low. And that is a very good thing. We're printing a higher low. Now we're going to take a look at the bigger picture on the weekly chart in a bit, but right now I want to focus on the daily and show you where we could be potentially headed. So if we remove all of the Fibonacci retracements, let's set up a smaller one from that bottom in August, I believe that was August, just over there, to that top. We're going to be looking at $1.58, and coincidentally, we already had a green trend line there. What is that trend line? So I think that's supposed to be that level over there at $1.60. So that was our resistance back in November and January. So January 2022, November 2021. That was after we printed our bull market top at $3. So that's going to be a pretty significant level for us to get. That's roughly a 3x from the current prices, so 170% or so. And that is going to be a major target for us to get to. And if we can't break through that in time, you know, we have to manage our expectations in regards to the new all-time high, or at least a retest of the previous all-time high. Because if the project is not performing as well, then we cannot be expecting new all-time highs. I think that goes without saying. So far, we've been doing pretty well. What we want to be doing is we want to be headed at least to $1.10. That's the minimal target of this fractal. And obviously, we targeted that low and that high. So after you break above 81.5 cents, your minimum target is $1.09, and we need to get there as soon as possible because we want to be printing another high, and that is going to be a higher high. We have higher lows, and then this is how an uptrend works. So you need higher highs and you need higher lows. Do you want to be buying in at the moment? No, because we had a massive surge. Massive surge. We're overbought on the daily. This is not where you want to be buying. You literally had the entire summer all the way up to the end of October to buy into Cardano. You also had a massive correction from 2021 into 2023. You had a chance to buy Cardano at 24 cents, even here at 22.5 cents. We had bought Cardano at these lower prices on Patreon. So that's our situation right now on the daily. If you're looking to get into Cardano, I would say wait for a retracement. You could probably get in, let's say, at 54 cents over here. That's your golden ratio. And then below that, you have your 0.5. And that is going to be your golden pocket. Between these two areas, you can be dollar cost averaging into Cardano. But I definitely wouldn't be going all in at these local tops because it is a bit risky. It's still pretty low in the grand scheme of things, but this is the risk to reward ratio is not as good as it was a few months ago. So make sure you understand that before you buy in. Now let's switch over to the weekly. And before we continue with the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon. If you're interested in getting more exclusive content, you want to support me as a creator, and you like what you're seeing here on YouTube and you want more, feel free to check out the Patreon. That's definitely a place for you. There's a 7-day free trial, which means you can get access to all of my content since the inception of the page. So that means you get podcasts, low cap gems, technical analysis, project reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We try to do posts there on a daily basis. We cover airdrops and a lot of stuff that we don't really cover on YouTube because we don't have as much time. And of course, because patrons get more stuff and more content And if you're interested in that, the link is down below in the description. Thank you all. Let's continue on with the video. Okay, now we're on the weekly chart, and from the all-time high, we're still down approximately 81%. And from the current price, we still have 420% to the upside. That's a 5x, more than a 5x, if we want to get to the previous all-time high. So we have that fractal on the daily and that fib. We're going to remove it from here. You can see we have a symmetrical triangle pattern. We're going to set up a target from this pattern. And a potential breakout from here would take us to $1.67, which also lines up nicely with that target from the daily Fibonacci retracement. Now notice we have 2 touches off of this trend line already, which again makes it a valid resistance level. And then we have 2 touches off of the support. One was all the way back here, and the second one was all the way back here in November 2024. Okay, so we don't want that. Now a breakout from here would take us to roughly $1.60. Could that be the top for this bull market, or is that simply going to be a higher high? And after that, we're going to break above the all-time high for Cardano. We definitely want to be breaking above this April 2022 high if we want to be showing any sort of strength, because Cardano has been lacklustering behind in comparison to some other coins. So we want to be performing well here. We want to be finally breaking above that resistance level. Again, we're running into that resistance over here. We're running into that level, and we want to be breaking above it. So the next surge that we're going to have, even if we have a small retracement from that resistance, the next time we have a go at that trend line, we want to be breaking above it, and we want to be taking out that high from April 2022. That is going to be extremely important. Now we can set up a Fibonacci retracement from the bear market bottom in September 2023 to the top there in August 2021. That's when we printed the bull market top for Cardano, and the minimal target is going to be sitting at $6.25. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, you can move down the fib to the body of the candle. And again, these targets are only for us if we break the all-time high. We want to be breaking that top there. And let's readjust the bottom of the fib here, just like that. And that moves down the Fibonacci 1.272 level to approximately $5.65. So is that something that we can get to? We'll have to wait and see. That's roughly a 9x or a 10x almost for Cardano. That would take us to $5.65. Taking a look at the RSI. Obviously, we had a nice surge here. Once we start getting overbought, once we start looking at something like this, that's when we can expect the top to come into play. But notice what happened here. If we go back in time into the previous bull market, you can see that the RSI printed a top over here. So I'm just going to use an arrow. So we printed a top over here, and notice the same top on the price action that the RSI top represents. It represents this high from March 2021. Now, if we look at the all-time high for Cardano, it's going to be all the way up here, and that is August 2021. And that is represented by this trend line over here, or rather by that peak on the RSI. So this is a bearish divergence. You have a bearish divergence. You actually have 2 of them here. And this is when the RSI is printing lower highs, but the price action is printing higher highs. And this is your call to start selling. When you have such a thing occurring, this means that there is a divergence between the RSI, which means the momentum of the coin is dying, but the price is still breaking new all-time highs. So once the momentum starts dying, this was your last essentially call to sell Cardano. You should have been taking your profits here if you wanted to be extra safe. And this time around, we could have the exact same scenario. We could have the exact same thing playing out for a lot of altcoins. So make sure you're aware of that. If we're taking a look at the MACD, so we had a bullish cross here in October 2023. So that was our confirmation of this uptrend, and we just got a bullish cross. Let's see. We just got a bullish cross back in September. So that was your confirmation of the uptrend. And if you entered after that signal, the RSI was still low. The price action candles were below the 20 EMA on the weekly. The stochastic was relatively low. That was a perfect entry point. So congratulations to everyone who entered. And yeah, see what your thoughts are on the chart. Look at your potential targets to the upside. Weigh this against other altcoins, whether you want to be staying in Cardano until the end of the bull market, or do you want to switch over into something else after you sell, after the next pump potentially, or maybe with this pump, depending on where you bought. So take a look at all of that. Let me know what are your thoughts. Thank you all for watching this video. Stay safe and goodbye.